What's good, John? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. So, yo, it's Wednesday. I hope y'all having a positive week. I hope everything is going in your direction of what it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? We started out the new year, and I hope that y'all keeping your resolutions. Also, I know I told y'all face y'all fears, right? So, I just started doing jujitsu again. I haven't done jujitsu in years, and I got my ass beat the other day. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. I'm going again today, and I'm gonna go learn, but I'm facing my fears. I'm getting over it. I'm getting back to the mats, and I'm having fun doing it. But with that being said, let's get to it. So, yo, this a lot of it's not too many topics that's going on around that I care to talk about. It's a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, first off, I ain't gonna lie. The Skip Bayless 1.5 million for the cat. The Fox 5 or Fox Sports scandal is wild. That's something that I want to talk about on this other platform that I'm doing, you know what I mean, the Hear Me Out with Wayno platform that we turning into a stream. I'm still working on my set, so bear with me for a little bit, but we gonna get it together. But today we talking about Joey Badass. So yo, Joey made some headlines a couple of weeks ago because he had gotten into a fight and went viral. Everybody was like, "Oh, unique," you know what I'm saying? The unique came out. So the interesting thing about Joey Badass is this: I feel like you know it's kind of weird, right? Like I remember like my son when Strata Compton came out and he seen the movie and then he understood that, who Ice Cube was as a rapper. He was like, that was him. He like the guy from Are We There Yet? So it's gonna be interesting to see like how Joey's career goes because I'm pretty sure he's doing a lot more in film and television, but he still got the ability to rap and he displays that on the Ruler's Back right now. The Ruler's Back, came out. Shouts out the conductor, another joint. You know what I'm saying? He just had the what's that? The Drake joint that everybody hates. He just had that. But shouts out the conductor. Like I said, not only a dope producer, but great musician. Puts together really, really good music. Excuse me, y'all, my eyes itching. But you know, uh it's been a minute since we seen Joey with some bars. And there's a couple of lines that stick out to people that got them saying, "Oh, is he challenging Kendrick? And what is he talking about?" And you know what? We gonna just stick on those lines. Shouts out to Joey. The whole freestyle is dope, but we got to get to it, right? So, you know, um, Joey used the lines. Well, the verse on the beginning of his second verse, he starts out by saying, "Too much West Coast dick licking, and I'm hearing niggas throwing rocks. Really ain't shit sticking." Because if we talking bar for bar, really is slim pickings. I rap like I draw pentagrams and kill chickens. Hard, right? But everybody's like, oh, he talking about the West Coast. So that is a line that Jay-Z used, you know what I'm saying, on 22 Tools off his first album on Reasonable Doubt. You know what I'm saying? And Jay opened it up with too much West Coast dick licking and too many niggas on the mission doing their best Jay-Z rendition, right? So at this time in the 90s, back in the late 1900s, my time, of course there was the whole East Coast, West Coast beef. And I think like our relationship with LA, see the thing about New York is that we don't call it the East Coast. Like just keeping it honest. I know on this freestyle or this song, Joey says, you know what I'm saying, something about the East Coast, but like being from New York, we never say that. We never say East Coast. You know what I mean? But you gotta remember Joey had the Beast Coast thing, so that's probably something that he was chasing after when it came to Brandon. But that's like when niggas be saying, yo, you East Coast niggas, I be like, what you talking about? Because I don't like me personally, being from New York, specifically Harlem, we don't represent, like we don't feel like we represent Boston and New Hampshire and you know what I mean, everything that's on the east. We just represent exactly where we from. But when they talk about the West, they represent a whole coast and a whole culture. And they got different subcultures within their culture. But what I was saying is that when it comes to the East Coast and the West Coast, we've always had like, I wouldn't say a love-hate relationship. I think we got a tremendous respect for one another. You see it through like, the TDE and ASAP Mob alliance that was in the early 2010s, which I feel like is another golden era, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't get a lot of them interactions. Like I remember going to ASAP Mob shows and seeing Schoolboy Q hit the stage with Ferg and them and he doing the ASAP pound with them and shit. Like you don't see that energy like you used to anymore. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to this verse, I think that like it's just a play on words, you know what I'm saying? Like for one, this called The Ruler's Back. That's one of Jay-Z's, that's the intro to Blueprint. You know what I mean? Jay-Z's album, one of his more critically acclaimed albums. And then Joey goes on, he mentions something about being the king of New York, which I do got something to say about that shit because I'm gonna keep it 100. What makes the king of New York? It can't just be lyrics, right? It got to be sales. It got to be momentum. It got to be energy within the city. And if we talking about who I think is the king of New York, like would y'all like to know? A lot of y'all probably not gonna agree with me, but I would say it's A Boogie. A Boogie is possibly, if not the most successful artist in the past 10 years coming out of New York, not named Cardi B, not named, well, Nicki was out prior to 10 years ago, but not named Cardi B. A Boogie is probably the most successful artist coming out of New York. You know what I'm saying? Sold out arenas, tons of platinum records, diamond record with Drowning. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother conversation we could save for another day, but let's pay attention to what Joey was talking about. I like to see Joey in his bag. You know what I'm saying? I like to see Joey talking shit. I like to hear Joey rap. And I was hoping that we was going to get some raps coming into 2025, especially with the fact that he went viral for it, but somebody asked, which come to find out was a former pro era member. You know, I hope they got that whole shit sorted out because it's never cool when two old homies fight one another, especially if somebody get their ass beat, especially on camera. You know what I'm saying? But got to keep in mind on Money Cash Hoes, Jay said, you know what I mean? What's the dealings? It's like New York's been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the bills. I'm trying to restore the feeling. Fuck the law, keep billing. Right? So again, we had this weird ass love-hate relationship with the West Coast. We don't hate y'all. Y'all don't hate us. I think we play ping pong a lot when it comes to our coaches. There's a tremendous amount of respect between New York and LA. Just off the simple fact of shit. Back in the NWA days, they was doing, collabs with Public Enemy and vice versa. And it's always been that love and respect. You know what I mean? There's always been like a funny space though. And even when Tupac was on his shit, like Tupac, for him to be like so renowned when it comes to the West Coast, Tupac claimed New York, specifically Harlem. There's a video of Pac going through Harlem. I actually used to live in that area, up by Rucker Park. You know what I'm saying? And he's talking about going to this middle school and how they used to chase him out the school and all of that. But even when Pac was saying that, he was just saying that he had went to the West Coast and he, planted some roots from down there. He had family out there. And he was just saying like he didn't like the way how the East Coast treated the West Coast when it come to rapping, saying that they was country, saying that they couldn't freestyle and shit. And then, you got the whole him and Biggie shit. That's a whole nother convo. But when it comes to this specifically with Joey Badass, I don't think it's like a shot because everybody's trying to make it into like this shot at Kendrick. Like, yo, he's taking shots at Kendrick. He coming for Kendrick. Listen, right now, Kendrick ain't focused on nothing but winning. He's not focused on nothing but winning. Like I said, we're going to see one of the best years we've ever seen in rap happen this year. And I jumped in the comments on Joey Badass's video, and I just seen somebody, they put crack and M9R. He said, Absol, this is your fight. Right? So it's like, come on, bro. Like, then that's a funny thing because not funny, but myself, when I used to spend time with my bro Smoke Dizza in the cinematic studio room that they had in Quad, you know who used to be in there with Pro Era, with Capital Steez in them? Absol, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a lot of love and respect, I think, between, specifically those factions. Like, Absol got a lot of love for Joe. I mean, I don't know what their status is now. I just know I seen it with my own eyes. And then another dude said, from Low Pro, 4650 said, I'm from Cali, but I always love and respected Joey since Waves. He's one of the few that kept that authentic East Coast sound without sounding dated or trying to be like other regions. So that also, when I seen that comment, it got me to thinking and shit. Because I'm like, yo, listen, the internet has made the world flat. I mean, again, when it comes to East Coast, West Coast culture, what we borrow, what we take, all of that type of stuff. If you look at gangbanging, just gangbanging alone, you know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody's as emulated around America, might be the world, like the West Coast when it comes to, Bloods and Crips and all of that. And of course, you can have your reservations, how you feel about that personally, but it's still influence, regardless to who started it, how they started it, how it came about. That's still influence that comes from a certain place. But it got me to thinking about, like I said, the internet made the world flat. With the drop of a dime, with a click of a finger, you can see what's going on any side of the earth. But, people use other people's slang. So even though, salute to this brother for saying what he said, you still have people using the word op. That's some Chicago shit. None of these West Coast dudes, none of these East Coast dudes, none of these down South dudes, Midwest is Chicago, but any other region was saying the word op until it's until Chief Keef and Dirk and all the dudes, what's that kid that passed away name, man? His name is escaping me, but he made that BDK video. Lil Jojo and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They the ones who kind of sparked that off. Even the word thought, you know what I'm saying? It's now the way the internet works is like everybody shares everybody's slang. You know what I'm saying? Cap. Like people in New York say cap. You know what I'm saying? And that's a South word, but people use it in their everyday lingo, but that's due to the internet. When you look at like Roddy Ricch, right? Like Roddy Ricch is from Compton, but does he sound like a definitive West Coast artist? I would say yeah, because of the content, like the context in his music, but the sound is influenced from other regions, right? You seen that you didn't have to be one way. What I just don't like is that I think the easiest thing for somebody to say is like, oh, that sounds like it's from down south, and it doesn't. Like, we all know A Boogie was influenced by Speaker Knockers, right? But A Boogie, especially in the last 10 years, when people talk about an A Boogie or a little TJ, you know what I'm saying? That's what these kids in New York sound like today. So everybody tries to hold everybody to the certain type of level of how they should be when it comes to their region and where they from. Like you have to, like if you're from LA, like yeah, it's cool for you to wear khaki suits, but you don't fucking have to. You know what I'm saying? If you from New York, we always gonna wear Yankee fitteds. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to all the time, but you're expected to wear Timbs. I expect to see a Cali nigga with Chucks, but there's also different influences that come through all types of places, and that inspiration gets shared. And I think that's what makes for good music. I think that what Joey Badass did with this joint is dope. I don't really foresee it being some like challenge to everybody from the West Coast. I think it'd be dope for everybody to just play, you know what I mean? Like just drop shit. You know what I'm saying? Just drop shit and go get your beats from Conductor. You know what I'm saying? If Ab Soul, like homie said, Ab Soul, this is your fight. I don't think it's a fight, but I would love to hear Ab Soul on some new Conductor beats. You know what I'm saying? I think that um like with Kendrick making, Watch the Party Die and certain type of songs and certain type of like missions when it comes to music, that this year, what's really going to be important about this year is that regardless to if you make club bangers, because there's nothing wrong with making songs for the club, there's nothing wrong with making songs for the ladies, there's nothing wrong with making fun songs and all that. If you're an artist, you're going to have some shit to say. That's the main thing that I'm looking at right now. Like, especially for y'all young new artists out there and young new producers, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gonna have to kind of re-strategize if you thinking about, I'm just trying to get on. If your path is you just trying to get on, that's cool and all that, but like, you're gonna have something to say. Because I believe that everybody who got something to say along with those records is the ones that's gonna last. You know what I'm saying? And I see people asking me, how you feel about Lil Baby album? How you feel about Little Baby album? I mean, it just came out on Friday, and while it just came out on Friday, the deluxe came out today on Tuesday, which now is Wednesday. I do like Baby's album overall. And the question is don't you work at QC? No, I don't work at QC anymore. But I did not get fired. We ended on mutual terms. There's not no beef. Much love to my QC fam. But when it comes to my only thing when it comes to Baby is he's making good music. He's just using the wrong beats. I just feel like he should use better beats. That's all. I think that Baby, and I never got a chance to really work with him while working at QC, but I had brief conversations with him. I think that he just needs to challenge himself when it comes to production. I think that like sometimes when it comes to the beats, it might be a little bit of a safe spot. You know what I mean? It might be a little bit of a safe spot for him to use certain type of production and shit. And if he wants to be great, like he says he is, he just got to break out of that mold. But I don't hate his album. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't make a bad album. I think that like the narrative that Baby is just trash and fell off is like lazy. Because even if you go back and you listen to the last album, yes, I will give a lot of y'all this. A lot of the music might sound similar, but that's just because of the beats. If you listen to the rapping's there. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't lost his ability to rap at all. And of course, it's all about what you can relate to too, right? So if you're not on some dope boy, get fly, get money shit, you know what I'm saying? Everything might not be for you for Baby. But I will tell y'all, Dumb Dumb and Dumb is my shit. And the other joint with him, Rollo, and Rod Wave, that's my shit too. But Baby got a lot of dope joints on that album. So make sure y'all check it out, man. Like, we got to start, even if you have a critique of your artist, it's not about like putting them down, right? Like if you feel like your favorite artist could get better, just say that they could get better, but don't try to shit on them and make it seem like they ain't worth nothing no more. Because when them other drinks come on, you still jamming. You feel me? So this is I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually you will. I fixed my stream, yo. I fixed my stream. I got things a little bit better. I'm also going to be gaming on stream too, which is going to be a new journey for me because when I play video games, I like to get super dead serious because I like to win. But if I'm going to be engaging with the chat, I know I'm going to compromise that attention span, or I got to up my attention span in order to win and talk to the chat. So go on this journey with me, y'all. Like I said, for the ones that rock with me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually you will. This is I do it myself, and I catch y'all in a few days. Peace.